Okay guys, so starting my descent from the top of Brown, I let a little air pressure out of my tires, and seeing how 700 by 45 do on this stuff. Like I said, they really did whitewash this out, meaning they marginalized the trail to a point where you don't even need you definitely don't need a full suspension mountain bike, but you don't even need anything more than a hardtail with skinny tires, and that's why I said a gravel bike is fine. This used to be a lot rougher in here, and you had to pick a line, and it would split up, and there would be a line on one side and a line on the other side. So it was a little bit more challenging and kind of a little more entertaining, if you will. But you know, look at the glass half full. You can now ride this on a gravel bike fairly easy. You don't have to worry about being on any narrow single track on a rough trails. So you would rather be on your full suspension mountain bike or your hardtail on. I don't have a full suspension mountain bike. Well, I do, but I never ride it. And you can see how this does with the gravel. Who knows, maybe I'll even get a record time descent on a gravel bike. Although I don't think I'm going to go as fast on this bike as I would on my hardtail, just because my hardtail, I'm used to it, and I don't really like riding on my hoods of drop bars. I think drop bars serve their purpose, and they definitely offer a nice feel for long distance riding because you have alternate hand positions. But now with these new alt bars and different things like that, even drop bars are kind of becoming a thing of the past, if you ask me. And if I built up a brand new bike, I would consider some alt bars. If I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with a regular drop bar or a flat bar, I would also consider alt bars. Hello. So it makes this climbing little section a lot easier. It got cold, you guys. It's in the 50s probably. It's supposed to get up to 60, but I don't think it's got there. But it rained yesterday, which makes for some really nice trail. And as I've told you guys before, our trails are decomposed granite. That's why we get trails that dry out really fast after a rain. They're very nice as far as being something that are stay nice and hard packed. They do get loose on top, but they never get muddy, and they do get kind of sandy in sections. But I don't know, I like them. I guess I'm used to them. You guys, you know, you have trails in your area that you're used to, and you know, every trail type has its ups and downs. I don't know how those guys that are riding in the woods over roots and wet roots, and like in UK and the PNW, that's a whole different trail knowledge, if you ask me, to understand how to ride that stuff and be fast on that stuff. So kudos to those guys. They're really nailing it. I've only rode here mostly. I've rode in Nevada Those trails are like here. Bootleg Canyon, any of you guys ever rode over there? Really interesting trail system over there. There's some trails called like the Kevorkian and the G-Spot. Some crazy ass trails with crazy ass names. And that rock over there is, oh my gosh, it's like coral. It's crazy. You don't ever want to slice your leg on that stuff. And I've lost a derailleur on that. I've cut up some double down. I don't know if they were double down, but there were some big casing tires that could not take it. So if you go there, be prepared. I would get the double down tires for sure. I'm gonna put another, you know, speaking of tires again, so these are 700 by 45, they're doing fine. I am going to try the 700 by 50 just to see how that is, and then maybe go 700 by 55 or 29 by 2.1 tires, get some like mountain bike tires. And then I got some durable 700 by 43, the Gravel King Plus, the thicker casing, and I want to test that too and see if that is adequate for some of this stuff, because of thicker casing and being able to run lower pressure and have that thicker casing. Will it be an effective tire for this stuff? Anyway, this feels good, you guys. I kind of like this as a gravel course. Not as fun as single track, but it's perfect. But I'm not going to ride my gravel bike on single track. I was thinking of riding down El Prieto, but now I'm thinking I'm not really down for that. Maybe when I put the bigger tires, that'll convince me. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll talk with you guys later.